Good day, ladies and gentlemen. About to Weather here with another special report. We're actually looking to get started with our report today with an advisory for the southeast section of the United States as well as the Caribbean. We are monitoring several cold fronts that are actually making their way through the southeast area and potential impact to the residents of South Florida with possible precipitation, flooding, as well as anticipated precipitation for the islands of Grand Cayman and Jamaica. So, before we start this analysis and give you a review of what we believe will actually happen mid next week, early part of next week, please go ahead, like and subscribe to this video, share it with friends, especially with those who are appreciate like yourself weather content and may be impacted by this cold front and weather systems. Okay, so let's get into it. So what we actually have here is we have a cold front that extends all the way down from Mobile, Alabama, down into the southwestern section of the Gulf of Mexico. And what we actually believe is that as it makes its way down into the Gulf of Mexico, there are going to be temperature anomalies, meaning most residents in the area of the panhandle of Florida, middle of Florida, even South Florida, are going to notice changes in the temperature as low as possibly in the 40s going forward for the next few days. Our main concern will be as this a stationary front makes its way down and migrates into the central Caribbean. What impact is that going to have on the residents of Grand Cayman and on Jamaica, especially after having to weather the extreme consequences and extreme weather from our intense hurricane season for 2020? Many of these islands have been extremely impacted by heavy rain and heavy thunderstorm activity, flooding, mudslides as a result of feeder band activity from storms such as Iota and Eta that actually made their way through and migrated into the Gulf of Mexico. Believe it or not, many of those storms were large enough to have outer feeder band activity that created quite a bit of flooding. Many roads were turned into rivers in Jamaica. So we're just a little bit concerned with what will actually happen as this cold front, as you can see on this weather model, migrates and it extends all the way down through the mid-Atlantic down into the Yucatan. So that's what we're actually looking at right now. Based on the information coming in from the Weather Center, we do anticipate that with this cold front that extends from Mobile, Alabama to the northwest, also, it will extend down into the Yucatan west coast. In its wake will be showers and thunderstorms for various residents. And as the front, it progresses down into Florida and extends all the way down down to the Bay of Campeche. And as the front moves through, we anticipate that will be strong winds, possibly thunderstorms, and scattered thunderstorms and showers in the wake of the fronts that are actually going to be moving down into the Caribbean. So when we actually looked at this model, we referenced several models, and we do believe that there will be turbulent activity as far as possible thunderstorms and rain showers on the back end of the front as they make their way down, which is typical of low pressure systems. You'll see with low pressure systems, they may have thunderstorms and showers that may accompany them as they make their way down or cross into different territories. So we do anticipate that a front will extend from eastern Cuba to the Grand Cayman, and this new front will extend all the way down to the Yucatan Channel on Monday, and with possible high seas and high winds behind it. So we're going to be looking at different weather models to actually get a handle on what we anticipate will actually happen. Yes, and as we take a look at another weather model, this is actually coming in from the European Weather Model Center, And we actually take a look at the 6 hour precipitation model to see what's actually behind the temperature anomalies. We can actually see the from the graphic as the cold front makes its way down from central South Florida across to the Yucatan Channel, and we can actually see it have an impact Wednesday and Thursday with possible precipitation, as we mentioned before, for the islands of Grand Cayman and Jamaica, also and the western side of Cuba. And it's pretty clear what will possibly happen. We do see that it's possible, it's not going to be a tremendous amount of moisture, but we do want to send an advisory, especially for those who were hit hard by this hurricane season that does pretty much just only ended only a few days ago. We can see quite a few heavy, significant thunderstorm activity around midday Wednesday and Thursday morning for the island of Jamaica, especially the north coast near Ocho Rios and Trelawney on Montego Bay, may be impacted by significant weather storms, thunderstorms on mid Wednesday. So that is what something that we are anticipating. We're just giving a little bit of caution to those in that area to look out for possible heavy thunderstorm activity, especially along the north coast of Jamaica, early morning on Wednesday of next week, and as we go forward. But this cold front that is actually making its way down from actually the Bay of Comanche all the way and from South Florida, it's pretty expansive, makes its way all the way across, eventually on Monday, from all the way from the Bay all the way to South Florida, and it basically moves its way down through the area of Cuba, Grand Cayman, Jamaica. Most likely it will impact residents of Honduras also. And do keep in mind, unfortunately for the residents of that area, they suffered from almost an identical path of two very, very intense hurricanes. So we do hope that it doesn't bring even more precipitation, but based on the model, it does appear that possibly in the same timeline, as far as the island of Jamaica, Grand Cayman, the residents of Honduras and Nicaragua may experience very, very tremendous weather activity in the name of heavy thunderstorm activity on Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, going into possibly early Thursday morning. So we do want to send an appreciation note to all of our subscribers out there who do appreciate our weather reports. Thank you so much. We'll continue to do this on a daily basis to give you the most up-to-date information based on the weather models coming in from the ICON German model as well as the European model, which seem to be on point for most of this hurricane season. And we will bring that information to you as soon as we get it and as soon as we review it and put together our forecast for you so you can stay in the know. Of course, please go ahead, like, subscribe, and share with friends, family who appreciate weather content. We're also going to be taking a closer look at what's actually happening in the Pacific Northwest with a serious low pressure system. So we don't want to just focus on the Caribbean and the Southeast United States. This report will actually go into a little bit of a discussion with what's actually happening on in the Pacific Northwest. Some very interesting weather developments there too. Yes, as we mentioned earlier, we're actually taking a very interesting look at a low pressure system that is actually in the north, um, in the northwest section of the continental United States. It's going to be bringing quite a bit of very heavy snowfall and precipitation activity to the state of Washington, most notably the area of Seattle. We do anticipate that. With this low pressure system that's actually migrating, it's not only affecting also the Pacific Northwest coast, but it's also pretty expansive, where it's actually impacting Aleutian Islands, which is part of the near Alaska. So we are taking a very, very close look. As you can see, this is the German icon model, which has been pretty much on point for most of this year for 2020, with different aspects of our forecasting, whether it was for the hurricanes, with precipitation. But here we are taking a look at the total snowfall, and we do anticipate snowfall picking up quite a bit in the Pacific Northwest in respect to the low pressure system that you can actually see on our satellite imagery here. It's actually in this area, and its impact is going to be felt along the Pacific Northwest. And as it migrates here, do keep in mind that for many of the states in the Northwest, they are experiencing temperature anomalies, meaning that for many of the states, Oregon and Washington, temperatures are below a few degrees below average for this time of year. So that would mean possibly additional snowfall, additional precipitation, additional more icy conditions going forward for the next few days. We do anticipate that this system is going to have a major impact in this area, primarily starting on Monday and Tuesday. The actual advisory for that area is that we should anticipate very, very heavy rainfall in the Seattle area and flooding possible there, and heavy precipitation across portions of Alaska and the mainland Alaska Monday and Tuesday, the 7th and 8th. And with this Pacific Northwest cold front near the Aleutian Islands, waves up to 20 feet offshore on the western side of Washington. So we do anticipate that in central Alaska, they will be getting at least 1 to 2 inches of snow a day with this low pressure system that is interacting here with the atmosphere. So that is what we're actually monitoring. We're monitoring not only the Pacific Northwest for this report, but we are also monitoring the impact of the cold fronts that are actually moving through, one that is primarily stationed over central Florida all the way down to Yucatan as it makes its way across western Cuba and impact the Grand Cayman Islands and Jamaica in midweek of next week. Here about to weather, we'll continue to monitor the situation not only in the Pacific Northwest as well as the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean for you, and we'll bring to you the latest updates to keep you informed. As always, please go ahead, like, subscribe, and share this video, friends and family who appreciate weather content. We're always trying to improve our weather reports for you to make them as informative and entertaining as possible. And of course, please leave a comment. Let us know how we can make things better. We do appreciate your comments going forward. Thank you and have a great day.